Hello, my name is Jonis. In this video tutorial, I'm going to talk to you about normalization. Normalization is the process where you will be able to basically optimize the data given to you from the customer based on the 0NF format. 0NF format is on normalized form. So as you can see, the data is pretty messy. So by following the normalization process, we are going to tidy up this data. Okay, the first normal form. So in order for me to convert this messy data, okay, into ONF, into the first normal form, I need to follow a rule, and the rule is non-repeating attributes. So any attribute that actually repeats, I need to basically put this attribute into its own entity, otherwise into its own table. So as you can see, patient's first name, patient's surname, patient's address. So the term patients is repeating over and over again. So what I need to do is basically highlight all this term where it says patients. Okay, and then I'm going to copy these. And basically I'm going to put them within a table. TBL stands for table, so for table, patients. And because I'm following the rule no repeating attributes, so any word, the word patients needs to basically be removed. By following the same process, I will be able to actually create more entities, more tables. So I'm just going to delete this now because I already have this here. So I'm just demonstrating how from this I ended up having this. So I've managed to extract 3 different tables from here. Now I have done that. I'm ready to normalize the data into 2NF, into the second normal form. In order for me to convert this data from 1NF to 2NF, I need to follow a rule, and the rule is partial key dependency test. What this means? So in order for me to convert 1NF to 2NF, I need to follow the rule, partial key dependency test. In other words, I need to ask the question, does the attribute belong to the entity? Now, if the answer is yes, no further action is needed. However, if the answer is no, a new entity needs to be created with an ID and a name. So the first thing we need to do once we actually have converted to the data from 1NF to 2NF is we need to apply ID, so unique identifiers. So each table must begin with an ID attribute. Okay. The next thing we need to do, we need to ask the question, does the attribute belongs to the entity? So the ID, the first name, the surname, the address, the date of birth, the phone number, the email address, and the medical history, all these attributes belong to the patients. However, the gender doesn't actually belong to the patients. The gender could actually belong to the patients as well as the staff, as you can see here. So in order for me to convert the 1NF to 2NF, basically I have identified that there's an attribute here that doesn't belong. So what I need to do in order to follow the rule is I'm going to create a new table, a new entity with ID and the actual name of the field. So instead of gender here, I'm just going to put here name. Okay. So I'm following the same process. Does the ID belong to the gender? Yes. Does the name belong to the gender? Yes. So no further action is needed because the answer is yes. So I'm following exactly the same process here. And once I reach here, I realize that I've got the gender here. The gender doesn't belong to the staff. The gender belongs also to the patients. So therefore, I'm going to put IDFK. So I'm looking for the ID field of the gender, okay, which is the unique identifier. And I'm going to put here FK because it's a foreign key. It doesn't belong here. It's a foreigner, okay? The actual table is here. All right. So by following the same process, I actually end up here on the appointments table to basically have the staff ID FK. So the staff ID FK, okay, is because the primary key is here. Here I'm putting the foreign key. So basically all these attributes belong to this entity apart from the staff ID. So the staff ID doesn't belong here. The staff ID belongs to the staff table. That's the reason why I color code it and then put FK for foreign key. Now, in order for me to convert the 2NF data into 3NF, I must follow another rule, and the rule is non-key dependency test. So in order for me to convert 2NF to 3NF, I need to follow the rule, non-key dependency test. In other words, I need to ask a question. Does the entity A needs to be included on the entity B? If no, no further action is needed. If yes, new attribute needs to be created in the entity B followed by FK. So does the entity patients needs to be included on the gender? The answer is no. And if the answer is no, no further action is needed. Does the patients need to be included on the staff table? The answer is yes. If the answer is yes, a new attribute needs to be created. So the patients here, okay? The new attribute needs to be created onto the entity B. So does the patients need to be included on the staff? The answer actually is no, so we leave it as it is. But if let's put this in a new page, so we can see the whole thing here. Okay. Does the patients need to be included on the appointments? The answer is yes. Because the answer is yes, because the answer is yes, a new attribute needs to be created on the entity B followed by FK. So this is it. So patients ID, FK. By following the same rules, okay, we identify that previously, accidentally, we already optimized that to 3NF. Okay. But here we make sure we validate this process. So does the staff need to be included on the appointments? Yes, but because it is already there, no further action is needed because we already done it. So now we have normalized the data from 0NF to 3NF. In the next video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create an ERD, an entity relational diagram. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.